Does the butterfly effect really exist? Many people have heard the famous idea that a butterfly flapping its wings in one part of the world could somehow cause a tornado on the other side of the planet. It sounds dramatic and mysterious, but to understand whether it's true, we need to look at what the butterfly effect actually means. The popular interpretation is that a tiny action directly creates a huge event. One small mistake changes your entire life. One tiny decision leads to something enormous years later. But this version is only partly true. The butterfly effect is not about a butterfly magically creating storms. It is actually a scientific concept from chaos theory, a branch of mathematics that studies extremely complex and unpredictable systems. The idea began in the 1960s with a meteorologist named Edward Lorenz. He was running weather simulations on a computer, using numbers that represented temperature, pressure, and other conditions. One day, instead of typing in a long decimal number, he rounded it slightly. The change was incredibly small, just a few thousandths. But when he ran the simulation again, the entire predicted weather pattern changed. That tiny difference at the start grew into a completely different outcome. Lorenz realized that in complex systems, small changes can grow into big differences. He used the metaphor of a butterfly to show how delicate and sensitive these systems are. So does that mean a butterfly can literally cause a tornado? Probably not. Tornadoes form because of powerful atmospheric forces like heat, humidity, and wind shear. A butterfly's wings don't create or control these forces, but mathematically, in a perfect model of the atmosphere, every small movement of air influences the next movement. Even something as tiny as a butterfly's flap adds a microscopic change that over time can shift the overall pattern in unpredictable ways. It doesn't cause the tornado, but it contributes to a system where predicting long-term outcomes becomes impossible. This sensitivity to initial conditions is why weather forecasts become less reliable after about 10 days. Even the slightest unknown detail, a small temperature variation or a gust of wind, can grow into a major difference later. The atmosphere is chaotic, meaning it doesn't follow simple linear rules. A very small input can eventually lead to a very large output. But the butterfly effect doesn't apply only to weather. Many parts of life behave like chaotic systems. Our lives are shaped by countless interactions and small events that build on each other. A short conversation, a chance meeting, choosing a different route one morning. These small events can influence the direction your life takes, even if you don't realize it at the time. This doesn't mean that every tiny choice will change your destiny, but it means that small factors can matter more than we expect. The butterfly effect also teaches us something about prediction. In simple systems, like a ball rolling down a hill, we can predict exactly what will happen. But in complex systems, like economies, relationships, ecosystems, or the weather, small uncertainties make long-term predictions almost impossible. We can understand the rules, but we cannot calculate every tiny detail, and those missing details create big differences over time. So does the butterfly effect really exist? Yes, but not in the way it's often described. It's not about magical cause and effect. It's about the idea that some systems are so complex and sensitive that tiny differences at the beginning can lead to huge differences later. A butterfly won't create a tornado, but its flap is part of an interconnected world where every small event plays a role in shaping the future. And in our own lives, it reminds us that even small actions can matter, sometimes in ways we can't predict or understand until much later.